Hi, this is Dominic
and Alex
from Paphos Life, and this is the first of a series of films where we explain to you the intricacies of driving in Paphos. So before we do anything else, I'll just stick up some maps and explanation. Paphos is both a district and a town, but for our road guides that we're doing, we'll just be concentrating on the town. And if you look, you can see that vague figure of 8, which is where we'll be giving most of our information on. First, they will concentrate on some areas. So this is Kato Paphos, showing that that's the seafront and the harbour area, Lighthouse Beach and all the bars, and the archaeological park as well. And after that, above it, you have Old Paphos, where there's lots of bars and restaurants and shopping, and there's an indoor market there as well. And between the two, you have the Universal area, which is another place where you might get holiday lets, but also it's a very big residential area there. The hotel strip is actually to the right of all that in Uoskapu. Now, we're going to be looking at the roads on the figure of 8, and then the first film, we're going to go from Kings Avenue Mall and finish up at the Motorway Roundabout. And in the second film, we'll be going, joining the rectangle, so to speak, and coming back down the other side to finish at Kings Avenue Mall. And after that, we will be showing you what's in the middle of it. And there'll be other films afterwards, but you get the picture, basically. Oh, and in the film, I mentioned assigning letters. During the course of the film, we dropped that idea. It just proved too complicated, so ignore that. Anyway, on with the film. Okay, in part 1, we're going to be we're starting off with the seafront because everyone will know where that is. And we're going from Kings Avenue Mall up to the Motorway Roundabout via, I'm not sure what the roundabout's called, but the lower big roundabout. You'll see in a minute anyway. But first of all, we'll start with a nice look at the seafront harbour. It's Easter Sunday, Orthodox Easter Sunday, in case you're confused by that.
12th of April.
Yep. Now, I have no idea when you'll actually see this film.
Lots of people out having a walk in the sunshine.
But yes, I mean, driving in Paphos, or driving in any place you're not used to, can be very confusing. First of all, I will say that it's a lot better than driving in Limassol, believe you me. I can't stand driving in Limassol. But essentially, there are just a few roads that you need to know, and once you know where they are, if you do get lost, sooner or later you'll end up on these roads again, so you'll be able to find yourself. That's the logic
behind these films.
Yes. And we'll discuss things along the route that you can see, like for instance up here on the right is St. Paul's Pillar and the newly reopened walkways around the church there.
Aya Kyriakon.
Well done. I can never remember that one. And we're coming up to Fabrica Hill, which has catacombs below it.
There are also ruins on the left as you walk up here, which are often ignored by people.
Yeah, there's also, of course, the archaeological parks on the left.
Yes.
The big one. But really, I mean, this is like a preamble to the main part 1 driving film, which officially will start at Kings Avenue Mall. The reason being because I want you to have the notion of not a ring road, more like a big rectangle that goes around Paphos. And this is the bottom left corner of it. There were lots of fireworks last night, weren't there?
There were, after midnight, because they...
And before midnight.
Well, and before, yes. It's supposed to be after midnight because the locals are in church waiting for the resurrection. And then they have fireworks and fires and lots of eating of meat because they've been on fasting for Lent.
Oh, he's going that way. It's signal, but never mind. Right, so this is like point A on the map. Okay.
Kings Avenue Mall.
And we're going to go along the dual carriageway at the bottom. You're tempted, aren't
I
you?
was very tempted. Daddy said bottom.
Yeah. That's what we used to say
To our daughter when she was
very
very
young, because in case there was any. Because you know what it's like, you don't swear in front of your kids, etc. And then bottom was the designated a swear word. Yeah, okay, that's the way we live. Got a problem with that? Anyway, there's a big church on the right, and all the cars are still there, which is good, because the idea of this drive being on an Easter Sunday is that it was hopefully going to be less traffic around, but obviously if it happens when they're all piling out of the church, it could be mayhem. Now this is one of those traffic lights where you don't go across if it's
on
orange,
amber,
or definitely not red, because you'll get a big fine.
€300.
And on the map this will be point B, because if you go right here it'll take you back into Cato Paphos. It's another useful way of getting there, because sometimes the road from Kings Avenue Mall into the seafront where we came from can get chocker, and this is another route, and there are car parks in there which you'll see in other films, but that's a good route to get to them. And on the left that will take you up to what used to be called Russian Road, because there are lots of Russian shops there. I'm not sure if there still are, but that will take you back onto the main rectangle at a later point.
So this dual carriageway is probably the route that if you came in on a coach from the airport, you would have been brought through.
Yeah, depending on where you were staying, obviously. Because there are a number of hotels up on the left, which people sometimes ask for routes for. Why is he stopping? Nice green light, this is what we like. I'm going to go into the left-hand lane.
If you go left here, you're in Universal area.
Yep. And somewhere up here on the left is a big, rather controversial animal sanctuary. I say rather controversial because they keep hearing about how it's being closed down, etc., because they want to build, and there it is. There's lots of donkeys there.
Yeah, lots of donkeys.
I don't know what the current status of it is, because they're looking for new premises or something, but it's huge anyway. I mean, I can understand why people would want to build there if it's their land, because it must be worth a fortune. But it's a big shame for the animals, obviously. But that's where that is. And soon we'll be coming to the bottom right of the rectangle, which will be point C on the map. I say this because if you know these points, I can refer to them in other films, and then you'll know what I'm talking about more, possibly.
If you remember which one's which.
Yeah. Anyway, I can link to them or whatever. If you turn right here, you get to the triangle and the hotel strip. If you go straight on, and in fact, if you're going to the airport, going straight on there is your best bet rather than coming up this way, unless you're desperate to go on the motorway. Because if you go straight on there, you avoid all of Paphos and Euroscopou, and it will stick you on the B6 right near the airport. It's good to know. I don't know what this road is actually called, but it runs next to a Universal on the left. On the right is mainly farmland
At the moment.
But they are in the process of building an entire new business district there. It's going to be huge. There's also an archaeological site there which will be featured in a recent film. But yeah, that's all going to be happening on the right. And this is basically the border between Paphos on the left and Euroscopou on the right. And you know this because up here you'll see a gateway, one of the 13, I think it was, gateways to Paphos that's dotted around the area.
From 2017, when Paphos was the European City of Culture.
And these traffic lights will be point D on the map.
And they are also ones
Yeah.
that have got the big cameras on and the €300 fines.
Okay, I'm a bit wary, but no, it's all good, so I'm going across. See, on the right you can see more of the building work that's happening.
There's the Oasis Hospital, which is one of the private hospitals in Paphos that you can visit.
On the right, you can see Pant-Man.
Oh.
There he is. It's actually Aphrodite, but I call him Pant-Man for obvious reasons, if you can pick that up with the camera. And he was another relic of 2017 year of culture.
And we're coming up now to the stadium roundabout.
Yeah, and this will be point E. If you turn left here, you can get to Kennedy Square.
You've only had point C. Oh no, D. E.
Yeah.
Yes, I've got it.
I think after this one, I'll stop doing that though, because it's going to get so confusing.
Yes.
Me remembering what's what. It was confused the wife already. And you can see the Easter decorations on the roundabout anyway. And there's the stadium, which is why it's called the Stadium Roundabout. It used to be known as the Debenhams Roundabout as well, but it's no Debenhams.
No longer a Debenhams.
I haven't been there for a while now.
No.
Neither the Super Home Store.
And
It was never called the Super Home Store Roundabout, was it? Anyway, further up here, there are numerous turnings on the left. I'm not going to cover them in these, if you like, driving films, because otherwise I'll be having to drive down every single road there is. But if you do go down them, just be aware that there are a lot of one-way streets. So just keep an eye out for the signs, etc. Right, coming up on the right will be Kings Avenue Mall soon.
No.
Sorry, not Kings Avenue Mall,
Neon Mall.
And they're building an extension to that as we speak.
Noticed recently they've got signs up, they're trying to rent out the office space.
Oh, okay.
So they're expanding it, but there's a Lidl in there, that's where Super Home
the
is.
existing one.
Kiabi for clothes, opposite is McDonald's, and on our left is the Blue Cross, which is another private hospital. 10.
Okay. Goodies is another burger bar. I think they're trying to be a competitor to McDonald's, but I don't know, it just never seems that popular. I mean, I went there myself, the burger was perfectly fine, as fast food burgers go. Right, you got an Alpha Mega up here. And that will be the end of part one, because we'll come up to the roundabout, but we're going to take the slip road just here. But there's one of the gateways to Paphos straight ahead of us. And the roundabout, if you go right at the roundabout, you'll be on the motorway heading towards Limassol. And straight along we'll be up to Memphis. But we're going left. Okay, see you in the next one.
Bye.